Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as all, damn, I can't even get right. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods and Stewart, bro. I'm sorry, man. I am 100% sorry. Um, that performance that we saw last night made you sick. It literally made me want to throw up my Cuban sub. Um, there were so many things that were wrong in that game that it literally looked like the Keystone Cops. This was like the perfect storm of everything. Dak was off. The receivers were not good. And the offensive line is in shambles. You know, we talked about, this is where, people don't give us YouTubers much credit. I am the Mr. Positive guy. I try and look at everything as positive as possible. I try and, give you hope because I always want to have hope and then deal with a problem when we have to deal with it. I'm not going to sit here and worry about something until there's something to worry about. Well, now there's some things to worry about. Dak Prescott right now is in surgery. We'll find out if this is 4, 6, 8 weeks or longer. We'll know later on today after the surgery how it goes. But with or without that, the underlying problems that we had with the team are there. Dak had a terrible game. All those people out there are going to say, you're going to blame everybody but Dak. No, I'm saying Dak had a terrible game. And that may be partially because we as a team don't believe in playing in preseason. This is the first time anybody's actually gotten hit or tackled out there at real speed. This is the first time Dak Prescott at real speed has worked with his receivers. And you could see in this game that he's literally having to look at his receivers to know where they're going to be. It's not throwing to a spot. The problems that we have, getting rid of Amari Cooper because, the Joneses have a hair on their ass and not replacing him. Here's one that, shout out to John who threw me under the bus earlier. DMV literally just said, Mark, you were wrong about, we're going to be okay without Amari Cooper. You were wrong. I was wrong. So thanks for reminding me. But DMV, I was talking about all the multitude of problems. CeeDee Lamb is more like Alvin Harper than Michael Irvin. Alvin Harper is Robin. We need a Batman. And here's the thing that's funny, or it's not funny, it's actually sad. Shout out to John sending me this video because this is basically what I said as an observation during training camp about Amari Cooper. About where we were as a team and the outlook, because I was very, very distraught about our offense. Let's listen to this.
Position would you be more worried about? What position would be the boys' best area?
Oh my God! I don't know that. I don't know what the talking heads out there have said about practice today, but John, either our defense is extremely good, or our offense we got to worry. I ended up being with okay. Here's what pisses me off. Okay, I'm gonna give you what pisses me off. Okay, my whole thing is the fat boys are back. All right.
Uh-huh.
If this team is going to do anything, it's going to be that front seven that's going to lead us. And that
Okay.
is the honest to God truth. Because I'm going to tell you that the offensive line could not contain the defensive line today. And Tristan Hill, who got pancaked yesterday, yesterday it literally was, you lost your manhood. Today he got his manhood back because you could see that he came in there like gangbusters, and he was unblockable. The offensive line could not get anything going. The offense did not get into the end zone today. And
Wow.
I felt like the last drive that the number ones had was the feel good. You know how when you need a victory for your team, I mean, for your players, and you kind of tell defense, take it easy on the offense, so that way they can, feel good about themselves. I felt like that was the drive that we had going down the field at the end of practice, but they stopped it just before they had a chance to go into the end zone. But they were not good, the offense, and I hate to put CeeDee Lamb on blast, but dog, you are now the lead dog. You are the number one guy. And I saw so much alligator arm. He was like, again, I'll put it like West Coast did. He was making business decisions in practice that,
What? Did
Yeah.
you just say CeeDee Lamb was making business decisions in practice?
Yes. I think about how, here's the thing. I'm going to go back old school. And I know I'm old and I'm different in this.
Chris Cantu.
Yeah. So this is not something that's new. We looked at training camp and we said offensive line got issues. CD kind of was going through the motions there, and I felt like a guy who is now the number one, who's looking for the big contract. He's looking for the big contract and the big payday. Well, maybe we ain't got to worry about paying that much to CD, because I'm not sure that he is the number one that we think that he's going to be. So there's that. $11 targets, 2 receptions, 4 drops. You can't win that way. Kellen Moore and his play calling, the double reverse and all that shit. The one thing that was working last night, the Cowboys didn't use, which was Zeke Elliott. Now, I originally started this video because I wanted to give you hope, but then it started, DMV shared this clip back with me. I talk so much, sometimes I forget some of the things that I say. We are not dead. We may be on life support, but we're not dead. And we still have some opportunities. The thing that's interesting to me is this, and I want to play 2 clips before I go on a little bit more here. This is the observations this morning where they are literally killing us. I'm sorry, actually. Let's play this one first. I'm going to play 2 different ones, and I just want to ask you, is there a difference between the 2?
Our Cowboys reporter tweeting that Dak is expected to have surgery and miss 6 to 8 weeks. He will meet with the team's hand specialist today. Sources say he'll have a pin and a plate inserted to stabilize the joint. So that is the news on Dak and Dallas. Rex Ryan, what does it mean?
Season's over for Dallas. That's what it means. And they're not, the coach is going to go in there. He's going to spin it a way different way. But to me, you lose your best player, Dak Prescott, on offense. There's no way in hell. Look, it was a struggle anyway. The pass protection, the lack of weapons. And now you lose Dak Prescott? Nah, I'm done.
RC, what do you think?
The season was over before Dak Prescott
Hey.
got hurt. Listen, one of my kids' favorite movies is The Cat in the Hat. And the Cat in the Hat ruins this dress, and this girl's like, you ruined Mom's dress. And he was like, it was ruined when she bought it, honey. And that's exactly what was going on with the Dallas Cowboys last night. There was a little semblance of a run game, but they couldn't get separation in the pass game. CeeDee Lamb didn't look like a number 1 receiver, and that run defense was porous. Other than Michael Parsons making some plays and Trayvon Diggs being who he was, you didn't see a lot of this from this team that gave you life if you were the Dallas Cowboys. We knew they would struggle with some things coming into the season, and I feel like everything we felt they'd struggle with offensively, we saw a little bit of that last night.
Oh, by the way, they committed 10 penalties last night. That'll get very
That's who they are.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys are who we thought they were. They're on pace for 170 penalties this year. Dan, but let's focus on Dak for a minute, because everything is obviously obscured by that. What?
Trade for Tyler Huntley. If I was the Dallas Cowboys, that would be the phone call I would make. It would not be to San Francisco for Jimmy Garoppolo. I would call Baltimore and trade for Tyler Huntley. I totally agree. If they don't make a move, their season is over. But their upcoming schedule is not awful. This is not a division that is absolutely loaded, nor a conference that is incredibly high end. Tyler Huntley's a player that has proven to be a pretty good talent. This is what games do we sit here and say they got no shot in? Maybe at Rams. We watched Green Bay yesterday play poorly. The Eagles' defense didn't look awesome against the line. So Tyler Huntley's a player that's had some good moments. RC, I agree with you. The offensive line could not protect. he's mobile enough to cover that up. They ain't got weapons. Well, they're going to have to kind of maneuver their offense schematically to make it work.
Sure.
Here's the reality.
12 personnel.
If the Cowboys don't make a move, or at least try to, legitimately, everybody in the organization is going, we're done. Hey, Micah Parsons, don't matter. Hey, Marcus Lawrence, don't matter. CeeDee Lamb, don't matter. We're done. If they do, they got a chance to save the season. But it ain't going to be with Cooper Rush.
But it ain't going to be with Huntley either.
No?
Because,
Why not?
no, hell
Baltimore ain't
no.
gonna give him up.
No, the number one, the future of your, there are two reasons why.
Okay.
The future of your football team has Dak Prescott at quarterback, not anybody else, okay? That's number one. You think Baltimore's going to give up, a guy that could be the future of their football team down the road? No chance.
But what
what are you going to, you're going to mortgage your future to get a backup quarterback. Because it's going to cost you at least 2 first-round picks. It ain't going to happen.
I'm not aware of what it's going to cost them. I don't think it costs you 2 first-round picks. And I get your Baltimore point, but here's the grim reality. This is the second injury that's going to take a chunk of season time away from Dak Prescott in 3 years. So at some point, the Cowboys organization has to look at it as a whole and say, dang, our starter's been down 2 out of the last 3 years. We have to do something to somewhat try to save this season because we'll send a message to our...
How about we do something like, take care of the offensive freaking line? How about that? Now, I know we are, Cowboy fans, we want our pound of flesh. We had people throwing trash and stuff at our quarterback and things, and we're mad. We're upset. Nobody wants to go through and have an ass season. I don't want to have an ass season. And it's almost comical to me because in the comments last night, shout out to the over 2,000 people that were watching the stream and seeing us in agony. Seeing people, trade Dak for Aaron Rodgers. Did y'all watch the Green Bay game? Listen how this is actually played about Aaron Rodgers.
7, and 1-7 is always open. These dudes couldn't get open. Then when one got open, they couldn't catch. That's going to be difficult for Aaron to deal with as the season wears on.
This is not about Aaron Rodgers, whether he can fix it. This is not about Rodgers. I can't imagine anyone watched that game and thought, oh, Rodgers is the problem. There was another play, we can't show everything, where he throws the ball to Christian Watson, not even looking in the same direction. I mean, he doesn't have the horses, Danny, doesn't have the help.
Yeah. If they don't protect him and he gets hit like he did Sunday, he will not make it 17 games. Now, I am not going to overreact offensively. This is a beautiful design. Like the first pass of the game for Green Bay, and Watson's wide open. They didn't have their number 1, their number 2, their number 3, number 4 receiver from last year. That's going to negatively impact your offense. They didn't have their starting left tackle or their starting right tackle. So I'm trying to be fair to their offense. But the one thing that stood out to me was the inability to get open is going to have a tremendous negative impact on that pass protection. Because Devontae could get open so well, the ball came out so quickly. 4 sacks yesterday. He didn't get sacked 4 times last year. Nobody's getting separation. Guys, he threw for 95 yards to receivers. Their leading receiver was a tailback. I hate when we're right. I love it, but I hate when we're right, and we talked about it all offseason. And if this defense, who's supposed to be a top 5 unit, gets whooped like a bottom 5 unit, and they got to play offensive football like that, this season is going to be a long journey for the Packers.
Yeah, you're right. And we talk about it, the loss of Davante Adams. You don't replace that. That's a Hall of Fame receiver.
But can we cover this cat?
But that's what I mean. That blows me away. Like he's an undrafted free agent. He's running Scott-ass clean everywhere. But it did show me this. By the way, Minnesota, when they got rid of Zimmer, you talk about bringing a negative thing out of your locker room. It was getting rid of that coach who was damn negative. Now you bring in a guy with positive energy. It's very similar to the Giants right here. Watch this team go. Look, Green Bay, forget about it, man. When you let Davante Adams go, I'm sitting back going, everybody's picking them as a Super Bowl contender? No, I don't see that. No way in hell.
RC made this point. RC made this point, and I saw it yesterday too. We talk about Davante Adams. If you watch Red Zone, there was one moment where in consecutive, it felt like it was 30 seconds apart. Christian Watson dropped that ball, and then Davante Adams makes a gorgeous catch. And obviously Rodgers isn't watching Red Zone, although he might want to see people who can actually catch the ball, because that's Davante. That's the guy. You put him in Green Bay, RC, they could fix that.
Listen, it's totally totally different. And it's also a comfort level. Think about who Derek Carr has to throw to. He still has Darren Waller. He still has Hunter Renfrow, but he threw the ball that many times to Devontae Adams because he makes plays. You've taken that from Aaron Rodgers. Now, there isn't that comfort level. There isn't that binky. There isn't that security blanket that you know is going to make a play for you when you need it.
Here's my thing. We knew going into this season that the Green Bay Packers were going to try to replicate the San Francisco 49ers of 2019. They were going to try to run the football, control the game, and play lights-out defense. And I'm not going to come in here and crush this offense today. I understand what this offense is going to be because some starters were out. That defense has got to play better football, man. Justin Jefferson isn't the second best receiver in football, okay? So that means, exactly, he's up there with the number one guy.
I'm about to say.
So why is he so butt naked open? I saw 3 plays yesterday with the Green Bay Packers defensively who drafted 400 defenders in the first round with all those picks they acquired for Devontae Adams, getting covered by linebackers. They were putting Quay Walker.
All right, so I play that. And I know, believe me, the trolls will be out there. There you go. You blaming everybody but Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott sucks. You just, I mean, screw y'all. Whatever. Just go have your circle jerk and everything else, okay? But they don't put any blame whatsoever on Aaron Rodgers. They say his left tackle was out, his number one last year is gone, number 2 gone, and the defense. Okay. How about we get a little bit of that for the Cowboys too? How about we just get a little bit about that? Dak had a bad game. I don't look on the offense other than Zeke Elliott, who potentially could have had a great game. I mean, let's say, I don't know, you tried running him 20 times instead of 10. You could have had 100 yards running. And maybe that would have forced Tampa Bay in keeping, 8 men in the box to try and stop him. Maybe that would have helped play action start working where we could bootleg. Maybe that would have kept Barnett off of Dak Prescott and breaking his freaking hand. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I'm salty. Yeah, I'm pissed off because all of the problems that we all knew about, that I talked about in training camp, I said the offensive line couldn't stop anybody. We knew we were razor thin. We don't go get people until after, it's too late to have them ready to start the season. We knew we had issues with the receivers. We get rid of our receivers and think we're going to get better. And, of course, we listened to Jerry Jones, and he, that Houston and Jalen Tolbert, they're real good. It was just like when Tony Pollard was running for us in preseason when Zeke Elliott was in Cabo. Zeke who? He tried to sell us that Tony Pollard's the guy. And here's the thing. Tony Pollard is a good situational back. But for whatever reason, it was like 3 series in a row, they sat Zeke Elliott. And we got Tony Pollard rushing the ball 6 times for 8 yards. 6 times for 8 yards. Oh, by the way, he can't block like Zeke can. And, of course, we have a multitude of injuries to the offensive line. Wow. Who knew people would get hurt in football? I didn't realize that. So, yes, I'm a little salty right now. I'm going through the 5 stages of grief. Angry. Because we are doing to Dak Prescott what they did to Tony Romo. The ownership is satisfied with filling the stands and getting paid and don't give a rat's ass about actually winning and being a good team. And selling us the bullshit that we keep buying. And we will. We will keep buying it. I know we will because that's what we do as fans. We're stupid. We're stupid. Well, Jerry Jones, he says he likes to have people talk. Everybody's talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Get back to me, Jerry, when we're actually ready to get some glory hole days. I'm Mark Holmes, and, well, I'm going to try and flip the switch. I'm going to go in my workshop here for a little bit. I'm going to try and settle down, get my blood pressure down, and I'm going to try and figure out how we have hope or how we mitigate the loss of Dak for the next 6 or 8 games. I'm Mark Holmes, and, well, have fun with the trolls. I know you're enjoying it.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe for the Sports Report.